Well, this should make for an interesting video because today we're going to be doing two looks with the new Oden's Eye Spring Dragon palette that was done in collaboration with Judy here on YouTube. And I'm already sweating because I have no freaking idea what I'm going to do with this palette. But if you want to figure it out with me, then just keep watching because we're about to get started. If this is your first time here, hi, my name is Heather Eaglin. I love all things makeup, especially colorful makeup and indie brands. And if you guys love those things too, I really hope you will subscribe. And if you do, don't forget to click the little bell so you can be notified of all my future uploads. And with that being said, let's get into this video. I'm going to get you guys zoomed in, and then I want to figure out what the hell I'm going to do with this palette. If you guys haven't seen my other videos with this collection, I do have the two already posted, the two other palettes. And in the Mighty Monster palette, if that was a Next collab, I gave all the details on this full collection. And I will have everything listed down below in the description box as well. But the artwork on this palette is so beautiful. I'm pretty sure it retails for around $39. And let me say, this color story is really beautiful. And I'm sure the formula is the normal, like really good Oden's Eye formulas. But this palette is everything that I don't gravitate towards. While I have figured out what I'm going to do for today, I've really been thinking on this for days on what I was going to do for my looks, and I just don't see anything when I look at this. This palette wasn't made for someone like me who likes a lot of depth in their looks, or when I look at a palette, I want to do something unexpected. And I feel like this palette was meant for people who like that light wash of color, who want like the one or two quick eyeshadows. And if you like those looks, you may really love this palette, but I want unexpected, and I don't see unexpected in this palette. To me, it's like a, this brown in the crease and maybe like a pop of color on the inner corner and then a shimmer on the lid. So it makes it hard for me to be able to create looks with a bunch of these shades. So I'm not going to be able to give you my final thoughts on this because I know I'm not going to be able to really use a bunch of these shades. But who knows, maybe I will in look 2. But this is just isn't my kind of palette. Not everything is made for everybody, but it's still beautiful. And I can see who this palette was made for, but it's not me. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this look. As you can probably tell, I have on a white like eyeshadow primer because I want to give these shades their best chance at really shining. I'm going to start this look out with my Singe Beauty EO1, and I'm going to go into this pastel yellow called Purple. This shade is really beautiful. I love a pastel yellow, but I'm going to just put this here in my inner corner. And that's so vibrant, and it works really, really well on this white base. I'm glad that I thought of doing this in my last video that I did reviewing these palettes, because that is beautiful. Now I want to go in with my Singe Beauty E02. It's just a small blending brush, and I'm going to go into this shade down here called Wood, and I'm going to just work this in the crease. I'm starting with the darker shade because these pastels have a white base. Most of them do. And I know it might not be good for layering to start with that lighter shade. So I wanted to give this deep shade its best chance. So I wanted to start with that. I'm going to switch over though to my Singe Beauty E06 and go with this brush instead. I'm just going to press this all along the crease and try to build it up, and then I'll go back in and blend it out when I'm finished. If you're someone who doesn't like to take a lot of time with makeup, you may really, really love this palette, because this palette was made for the more quick look than, what I usually go for. And Oden's Eye formula is a really good formula. Like, their mattes are spectacular. So they're really easy to work with, easy to blend, and they're great for these type of quick color stories. You could really get some pretty looks out of this that way. Now I'm going in with my Singe Beauty E03, and I'm just picking up a little more of the shade and just blending. Now I've just cleaned off my E03 on my Sigma switch, and we're going into this shade up here. It's called Chun. I'm pretty sure is how it's pronounced. If not, please forgive me. But I'm just using this to really blend out these edges. Now, this palette would be really pretty with the other palettes. I do plan on doing a bingo with all three of them, but it probably will be next week before I get that posted, because I don't want to keep posting all these videos back to back. Now I'm going to use my Singe Beauty E06, pick up a little more of this dark brown, and I'm going to press this in the crease. Now I've cleaned off my E06 on a Sigma switch, and I'm going back into this green, and I'm going to try to blend these. Now I've just mixed that green and brown together, and I'm going to try to get a mid-tone version of this. Now I'm going in with my Sigma E30, I'm pretty sure, yep, E30 pencil brush, and I'm picking up more of that dark brown, and I just want to work this into the outer V on the lid. Now I'm going in with my E04. I've just cleaned it off on my Sigma switch, and I'm going to press this in right here on the lower lash line. And here you can see the difference in using it on concealer and a set base as to using it on that white primer. There is a pretty big difference. So if you pick this up, I really recommend using it on a white base if you can. I talked about it in my last video, but I just use the LA Color Pro Color foundation mixing pigment and just use it like an eyeshadow primer, and it worked. Now I'm just cleaned off this brush on my Sigma switch, and we are going to go into my green. This is the E04, but I'm going to press this all along the lower lash line. This one works a lot better on a set base than the other one. Really pretty. Now going in with my Singe Beauty E07, I'm picking up more of that shade Wood, and I'm just going to press this along the lower lash line. It went a little heavy. Now I'm going in with my NYX Glitter Glue, and I'm just going to place this on the lid. I'm going to use my BH Cosmetics packing brush. I forgot what I was doing for a second. Wow. I'm just placing this everywhere. Now we're going to go into the shade Moss, and this is one of my favorite shades in this palette. So pretty. My favorite shimmers, should I say. But I'm going to just press this all along the lid. It is so freaking pretty. Sorry guys if you keep hearing my dogs. They're on it today. They are not even playing. They are barking at everything. Now I'm going to go back in with that pencil brush, and I'm just going to pick up more of the dark brown, and I'm going to use this to blend in the matte with the shimmer. I don't want it to like stop abruptly. So this eye look is really pretty. I really do love it. It has everything that I love. It goes from really light to really dark, and I'm really happy with it. I just got to figure out what to do with look number 2. Also, I wanted to say I got a comment today on a video. Someone said they've been holding out on trying Oden's eye, but they wanted to pick up these 2 palettes before it was too late and they sold out. But they said the reason that they hadn't done it yet is because they've heard a lot of inconsistencies with their shimmers. And honestly, I don't know like why people are saying that, because the Oden's Eye shimmers are spectacular, but I will say they have a putty formula in some of their palettes, like this shade down here, and if you like press it down really hard, it can get hard pan. You have to really press hard, but if you just take a flat brush like this and you just go over it, it comes right off. So I don't know who said that or like how many people are saying it. Personally, I haven't, but I just wanted to let you know that I wouldn't not buy it because of that, because honestly, I've never had any issue with any of my Oden's eye palettes ever. I have a ton of them. I love them. I have decluttered 2 of them in my declutter series, but it's because they were their smaller palettes. And the formula now in the square pans is a lot better, but I love these palettes. I love Oden's Eye. They have one of the best matte formulas I've ever worked with. Their shimmers are freaking breathtaking as well. They're always good. The only issue I've ever had is the thing with the hard pan, like I said. But please don't let that like deter you from trying them, because I'd hate to see you miss out. They really are wonderful. And when it comes to the 2 releases that came out this Halloween from Angelica, these palettes are freaking incredible. Like, oh my God, the color stories are amazing. And you can see like the shimmers are perfectly fine. So, I mean, just take that for what you will. If you really do want to try them, I would suggest that you do, because I honestly don't think you will regret it. I really love their formulas, their shimmers, and their mattes, and I think you will too. But let me go finish this other eye off camera, and I will be back to give you my thoughts on look number 1. And here is look 1 all finished. I think it's so pretty and I really love it. Maybe I might have to eat my words. Maybe I spoke too soon, but look 2 will be the one that tells me if maybe I was wrong. But as for this look, I really love it. I think it's so pretty. And as you've seen, it was really easy to create. In my waterline, I am wearing the ColourPop Cream Gel Liner in the shade Extra Frosting. I love the pale yellow. It really ties in that pale yellow inner corner. I just think it's super stunning. I'm really happy with the palette so far, but like I said, only time will tell. But I'm excited to try to come up with something tomorrow to complete look 2. But as for you guys, look 2 is coming right now. I'm back for look number 2. I've put down a white eyeshadow base again, and I wore that yesterday's look all day. It lasted perfectly throughout the whole day. I had no issues with like fading or anything like that, but it grew on me. I loved it more. The more I looked at it, I really did like it. But after some time thinking about what I'm going to do today, I think I finally have it figured out. But we are going to start with this yellow, and I'm doing that on my Singe Beauty F04. And same thing I did yesterday. I'm just going to put this here in the inner corner, and it really brightens. I love the look of that yesterday. It actually reminds me of one of my favorite shades from the Hella palette from Oden's Eye. It's this shade up here, Rebirth, and you could see I used a ton of that, but I'm happy to have another palette with that color in it. So yay. Then I'm going to go in with my Glam Light brush, and I'm going to pick up this shade called Rain. Is that what I want to do? Yes. And I'm just going to press this all along the crease. Let me switch on over to my Singe Beauty E03. These are very bright on the white base, which I really love this. I just wish it had more depth, but I know this palette just wasn't made for that. So I'm trying to do looks with it with the way it was intended to be used. And do you guys see how freaking bright that looks? So stunning. Now I'm going to go back in with that Singe Beauty E01, pick up more of that yellow shade, and just going to make sure these two are blended like they fade into one another. Love the bright like pastel green it's giving me where they're laying on top of one another. It's really pretty. Then I'll go back in with that E03 and just blend. Now I'm going to use that E03. I just cleaned it off on my Sigma switch, and I'm going to pick up a little of this purple. I might regret this, but let's hope not. But I'm just going to use it to slightly blend on the edges of this blue. It's really pretty. This is a completely different look than what I had planned on doing when I started this video. Now I'm going to go back in with that Glam Light brush, pick up more of the blue, and just re-intensify that. Now I'm going to go in with my Singe Beauty E04, and I'm going to pick up this purple shade, and I'm just going to press this along the lower lash line. I'm going to take it all the way across into that inner corner part, but I'm going to use my E01 to pick up some more of that yellow, and I'm just going to bring that around the bottom. For my lower lash line, I'm going to add a little of this brown. I don't think I'm going to put it on top, but I'm just using my E04, and I'm just going to press this along the lower lash line just to add a little depth, smokiness. That purple isn't really showing up, I guess, where I powdered underneath my eyes, but I have to do that. So I'm going to try to bring it in this blue and see if I can get this one to play. Yeah, it's definitely showing up more for sure. But now I'm going in with a little bit of NYX glitter glue, and I'm just going to haphazardly just slather this on my lid. I think I'm going to pick up a little of this purple, even though this mostly isn't purple, but I'm just going to put this here on the outer portion. Now I'm going to go into this shade down here called Do What? But I'm just kind of going to put this all over the lid. I guess this is like just a quick, easy type of palette where you could do like those effortless one and done looks, which definitely have a time and a place for sure. Me, I don't have kids. I don't work. I just do YouTube, so I have the time to sit and play with makeup all day, but I know everyone doesn't have that. So now I'm going to pick up a little more of that dew shade and just put this on my lower lash line to try to brighten some. And here is the look before liner and lashes. I'm going to go do that off the camera, and I will be right back to give you my thoughts on look number 2 and the palettes. Well, I like it better with lashes. I think it looks a lot better with the lashes and the other eye done. In my waterline, I'm using the ColourPop Cream Gel Liner in the shade Big Splash. I usually don't talk about what lashes I use because I always put them back in the wrong package, but I just bought these. So they are the Kiss Pompadour lashes. I really love them. I cut them down to a half lash, and I'm using the Duo Lash Glue. It is the quick set one. So let's get into the palette. If I gave you my review based on what I prefer, this would get a really low review. But I don't think that's fair because you can clearly look at this palette and see what it's meant to be. And I think for what it is, a pastel palette, it is a very good one. I love the matte formula that Oden's Eye has. The shimmers are really beautiful as well. It just doesn't have everything that I look for in a palette, but I will love this as like a companion palette. It's just not a standalone for me, but I do like the looks that I created. I do think the first one is my favorite though out of the two. But you guys are going to have to let me know down below which look was your favorite. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It really does help me out, and I appreciate it. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, I hope you will. But I will give you guys my full review on this soon. I do want to try it more. But I appreciate you so much for watching this video all the way to the end. And until next time, bye.